Have you ever noticed how some memories feel like they happened yesterday, even if it's been months or years? Maybe you think about what someone else did, or worse, what you did, and suddenly your heart starts to race, your stomach turns, and it's like you're right back in that moment. That's not just memory, that's emotional wiring. And that wiring keeps you stuck. But what if I told you that forgiveness, real lasting forgiveness, can be the very key that unlocks the next chapter of your life? And what if I told you that you don't have to force it, you don't have to fake it? That real lasting forgiveness, the kind that because of the help of hypnosis and NLP can genuinely help you to let go on a deep subconscious level to help you move on and to live the life you want. So let's talk about how. So if it's your first time joining us, feel free to type where you're coming from in the comments. You can ask any questions, comments. You can even comment on things you'd like to hear us talk about in the future. Also, it's your first time joining and you type the word mindful. At the end of the broadcast, I'll come back and I'll put a link in, which if you follow, you'll receive a couple free gifts. One is a recording on releasing limiting beliefs, and the other is our weekly PDF cheat sheet, which is bullet points of what we cover each week. So about forgiveness. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. It's not about saying what happened was okay. It's not about forgetting, and it's definitely not about pretending it didn't affect you. Forgiveness is about liberating oneself. So forgiveness is really all about yourself. It's moving on. When you hold on to anger, guilt, shame, you're energetically tethered to your past. And from an NLP perspective, that emotion becomes an anchor, and a negative anchor. It's a subconscious trigger tied to a person, place, word, feeling that affects your relationships, your self-worth, your decisions, sometimes without you even realizing it. Forgiveness helps to cut that cord. It tells your subconscious, this is no longer what's going to define me. It's not letting the other person off the hook, though. It's unhooking yourself from their grip. And that changes everything. So when it comes to the power of self-forgiveness, now here's the real clicker, right? It's a game changer. So self-forgiveness, because yes, forgiving others is definitely important, but forgiving yourself, that's where the deepest healing actually happens. Think of all the should-haves you carry, or I shouldn't have left, I should have spoken up when I didn't, I should have, I shouldn't have, I should have known better. All of these shoulds, they say we shouldn't should on ourselves, right? But here's the truth. You were doing the best that you could at the time with the tools, the beliefs, the awareness, and the pain that you had at that time. Holding on to shame doesn't make you better, it just keeps you small. It keeps you looping the same behavior over and over, the same relationships over and over, the same pattern, the same self-sabotage over and over. Self-forgiveness says, I accept my past, but I no longer punish myself for it. I choose growth over guilt. I choose freedom over fear. Now, who wouldn't want that? So hypnosis can help us to heal, to help in forgiveness and self-forgiveness. So let's talk about how exactly this happens. So this happens because the subconscious, this is where things go from concept to transformation, if you will. The subconscious mind is where your emotional patterns live. And no matter how much you consciously want to forgive, your subconscious might still be kind of replaying the pain in the background. So hypnosis gives you access to that deeper level, to that subconscious level, in a relaxed, safe, and focused state. And here you can explore the origin of that pain, and you can step back and you can observe it instead of reliving it over and over. You can see the inner child or the younger self who was just doing his or her best at the time with what they had. And you can release the emotion that's been trapped in there for years and replace it with more peace, clarity, and with compassion. It's like finally cleaning out a wound, and instead of just covering it up with band-aids over and over again, you're kind of cleaning it out and really healing it. So rewiring with NLP. Now NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming, is also useful in this process because it helps you to recode your brain, helps you to rewire. Let's say that every time you think of that moment or that person that's kind of got you in the past and you get triggered, when it comes to NLP, we can shift our emotional response to something more positive, and not just mentally, but neurologically. So we can use different things. We can use the reframe technique to help see the deeper truth behind the situation, right? And this is going to help to loosen the grip of resentment or shame or whatever else is going on there. We can use that swish pattern that we talked about a few weeks ago to replace old painful mental images with new, positive, empowering ones. We can use timeline or even regression techniques to revisit and rewire memories from the past so that they no longer hold emotional charge. These tools aren't about denying what happened, though, not at all. They're about empowering how you respond to what happened in the past in the present. So because when you change your internal patterning, you change your life. Now, I'm all about that, aren't you? So forgiveness in action, how might you begin? So here's a step-by-step way if you wanted to practice self kind of hypnosis on forgiveness. So the first thing is acknowledgement. You have to be aware of a problem in order to get rid of it. So acknowledge the pain. Who or what are you still holding on to? Then you'll want to get yourself into a nice relaxed state, because hypnosis helps you to access the part of you that's ready to let go. After you've done the hypnosis, you can use NLP in there to reframe and to release, to change the story, to release the emotion, to rewrite the response. And then obviously you want to anchor in the new beliefs, the positives, breathe it in, visualize it, affirm it. Maybe you're saying something in your mind like, I am free, I choose peace, I choose growth. So now let's take a moment, and as long as you're not driving a motor vehicle, operating heavy machinery, or requiring your conscious, focused energy in any way, if you do have a moment, you can follow along and close your eyes here, as long as you're safe. If not, please come back at a time when you will be and watch the video then. Good. So if you're available, go ahead and close your eyes down. That's right. And just becoming aware of your breathing. You might take in a slow, deep breath and then let it all out. And again, inhale in, big breath. As you exhale, you might think, relax now. If you haven't already, go ahead and let your eyes close and feel your body begin to relax. Now imagine, sense, or feel yourself standing in a beautiful, peaceful place. And I don't know, maybe it's a quiet beach for you, or perhaps a forest path. Maybe a warm golden field, whatever works for you. Take a moment and see what you see, hear what you hear, and feel what you feel here in this relaxing place. That's right. Now in front of you, you notice that there's a version of you that's been holding on to pain. You might see it or sense it. And this version of you is carrying a heavy backpack. Maybe they look tired or guarded or even sad. As you walk over to them and look them in the eyes, and now tell them, I see you. I know you were just trying to survive. I forgive you. I love you, and I set you free. And in that moment, watch as they begin to soften. Maybe they smile or shed a few tears. And now imagine them removing that heavy backpack, opening it up, and inside you find it filled with heavy rocks. And each rock represents something you're holding on to from the past. And so you begin to take out the rocks one at a time, and then toss them into a nearby lake or river, releasing those old memories that are no longer serving you. One at a time, tossing them away. That's right. Until that backpack is completely empty. And then gently handing even that over to the wind, watching that old backpack float away, lighter and lighter. And you can feel your chest expand and your heart open, and your whole being becoming lighter. You are safe now. You are free. Take another big breath in, and slowly return to the present moment, bringing with you a sense of peace and a commitment to keep choosing forgiveness for yourself and for others. And if that felt really good to you in any way and you'd like to anchor it in, you can name this feeling with a word or a phrase. And then choose a hand anchor. I like middle finger to thumb. Take a big breath in, exhale, and think or say your word or phrase. Good. And again, fingers touching, big breath in, exhale to your word or phrase. Nicely. Now one more time, big breath in, exhaling to your word or phrase. Good. And you can relax your hands and you can relax your breathing. And yet know that freedom is a choice, and you're allowed to choose it more than once, whether it's something from years ago or something you're still carrying today. Let this be the moment you begin to let it go. Now, if this spoke to you, you can share it with someone who needs it, or reach out if you want to explore this in a deeper private session, because you deserve peace. And peace begins with forgiveness. Peace begins with forgiveness here today. So thank you for watching. I hope you've had a wonderful Mindful Monday and make it a great day.